There have been some incredible signings so far this season across Europe's biggest teams, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the best signing in each of Europe's top 5 leagues so far this season. Today I'll be going over each of Europe's biggest leagues and talking about which one player I think has been the best signing in that whole league so far this season. Quickly, before I get into this video, I am currently recording this on Christmas Day, and I just wanted to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, I wanted to wish you guys a happy holidays. But without further ado, let's get right into this video. Starting off in the Premier League, and to be honest, there have been some incredible signings so far this season. We've seen some incredible midfielders like Declan Rice, James Maddison, who have all signed with new clubs and have been some of the most influential players in each of their respective teams. But I'm going to show some love to one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League this season, and that is Vicario. I talked about Vicario in my last video where I put him in my Premier League team of the season so far. And the reason why is because I think he has been such an influential player in Tottenham's lineup so far this season. If you look at who Tottenham had in the goalkeeper position last season, they had Hugo Lloris. And obviously with his time at Tottenham, he was a very good goalkeeper. But towards the latter few years, he was really starting to slow down, and I think they really needed a replacement for him, and I think Vicario has been the perfect player. So far this season, Vicario has started in 18 games for Tottenham in the Premier League. They've conceded 24 goals, which to be honest is actually pretty low considering their defense keeps getting bookings here and there. He's also kept 5 clean sheets, and so far I think he's been the best goalkeeper this season. Obviously, the two players I talked about earlier, James Maddison and Declan Rice, have also been incredible this season. They've both gotten multiple goals and assists, and they have been really influential for their club. But I just think Vicario, being a goalkeeper, doesn't really get as much respect as some of the other players, and that's why I think he deserves more respect, and that's why I am mentioning him as the best Premier League signing so far this season. Moving on to the Serie A, and I think this is a pretty obvious choice. I have gone for Marcus Thuram. Marcus Thuram has been so good this season for Inter Milan, and when they decided to sign him from Mönchengladbach, I knew he was a good striker because with that club, over a 4-year span, he got 44 goals, which is pretty good. But I did not think he was going to be this good for Inter Milan. So far this season, in his first 17 Serie A games, he already has 7 goals and another 6 assists, meaning that he is averaging almost 1 goal contribution for every single game he plays. Obviously, since I do watch the Serie A, I've seen a lot of games from Inter Milan and from Marcus Thuram. And in my opinion, he looks like one of the most complete strikers in the world. He is tall, he is fast, he's strong, and he has a good dribbling ability with him. So having all these incredible attributes, this just makes for one of the best number 9s in the world. What has surprised me most about Thuram is that it's not only his goals that have been really useful to Inter Milan, but it's also his passing capabilities. We've seen so many times his incredible link-up play with Lautaro Martinez, and he looks like an improved version of Lukaku. That is how good he looks. The craziest thing about Thuram is that Inter got him on a free transfer. He didn't cost any money, and for that reason alone, I think he was definitely the best signing in the Serie A so far this season. Moving on to the La Liga, and I think this is a pretty obvious choice. It is Jude Bellingham. If I'm being 100% honest, when Real Madrid first signed Jude Bellingham, I knew he was an incredible player because last season with Dortmund, he was incredible, and even the season before. But 100 million? I thought that was a little bit too expensive. But with what he's done so far for Real Madrid, I think that's the perfect value for him. If you're going to spend 100 million euros and buy any player in Europe, I think Jude Bellingham was the best option to buy because what he provides in the attack, in the defense, assisting, getting goals, he's been the most all-rounded and the best player for Real Madrid this season. So far this season in the La Liga, in Jude Bellingham's first 16 games, he's already gotten 13 goals and 2 assists, meaning that he's averaging almost 1 goal contribution in every single game he plays. But if you look in the Champions League group stages, he got another 4 goals and another 3 assists, meaning that so far this season, he's gotten over 20 goal contributions, and we're only halfway through the season. I think he's been the best midfielder in the world. In terms of attack, in terms of defense, in terms of everything, he's the most well-rounded player in the world, and in my opinion, the best midfielder so far this season. Obviously, there has been multiple other great signings in the La Liga so far this season, but Jude Bellingham, even though he was 100 million, he was 100% worth the price. Moving on to the Bundesliga, and there have been some incredible signings so far this season. We've seen Llouis go to RB Leipzig and score some incredible goals for them. We've seen Alex Grimaldo go to Bayer Leverkusen and be one of the best, if not the best left back in the world. But in my opinion, the best signing has been Harry Kane to Bayern Munich. I think Harry Kane costed between 80 and 100 million. I don't exactly remember the price, but when Bayern Munich first bought him, I didn't know if he was going to be worth that price, because obviously in the Premier League, he has been one of the best strikers for many years now. But he is starting to get up there in age, and I didn't know how fast he would adapt to playing in a new country, in a new league, with a whole new club. But clearly, it doesn't matter where he plays, because he is always going to be the best striker in the world. So far this season, in the Bundesliga alone, in his first 15 games, he's scored 21 goals and gotten 5 assists, 26 goal contributions in his first 15 games. He is averaging nearly 2 goal contributions in every single game he plays. That is value for money. But it doesn't stop there, because even in the Champions League group stages, he's gotten another 7 goal contributions, meaning he already has over 30 goal contributions for Bayern Munich in his first 20 or so games. I feel like Harry Kane has always been a little bit disrespected at Tottenham, because yes, people knew that he was an incredible striker, but because of the fact that he's never really won anything with Tottenham, people always downplayed his abilities. But now with Bayern Munich, who look like the best team in the Bundesliga, the best team in the Champions League, and probably will win at least 2 trophies this season, I think people are now realizing how incredible of a striker Harry Kane is. Like I already said, when Bayern Munich first bought him, I didn't think he was worth the price. But realistically, he's been worth every single dime they spent on him. And I do think he is the best striker in the world, and definitely one of the signings of the season. Finally, moving into the Liga, I've chosen Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Obviously, there have been many other amazing players in the Liga, and I'm not saying that Aubameyang has been on the level of someone like Harry Kane, but I think this season, playing with Marseille, I think he is really helping them in the Liga and in the Europa League. Marseille got Aubameyang on a free transfer, which in my opinion is incredible business, because if you look at what he's been able to do in other clubs like Borussia Dortmund, Arsenal, AC Milan, he's been a top striker for his whole career. And even though he is 34 years old, I think getting him as a free agent is incredible business. So far this season, in his first 24 games with Marseille, he's already gotten 12 goals, which in my opinion is very good, because he is averaging 1 goal for every 2 games that he plays. But aside from the goals, he's also been able to get multiple assists this season, as we've already seen him get 7 assists in the Ligue 1 alone, meaning that it's not only his goal scoring ability that is helping Marseille, but it's also his passing ability, and his link-up play with the other forwards has been a really big help to that team. Do I think Aubameyang has been as good as some of the other transfers I talked about in this video? Definitely not. But for the fact that he was a free agent, and Marseille struggling a little bit last season but are doing much better this season, I do think that he has been the best signing so far this season in the Liga. Moving on to the Eredivisie and the Liga Portugal, and I'm going to make this a little bit quicker, as these are obviously not as big as the top 5 leagues, but still very notable leagues in the world of football. So for that reason, I think the best signing of the Eredivisie so far this season has been Calvin Stengs. In his first 15 starts in the Eredivisie, he's already gotten 5 goals and another 7 assists. And it's not only his goals and assists that have been helping his team out so far this season, but it's also his general attacking play, and his directness has been really influential to his whole team. I think Erving Lozano also deserves a shout, because this season with PSV, he has been playing very good as well. But for the best signing so far this season, I think Calvin Stengs deserves it. And finally, moving on to the Liga Portugal, I think the best signing has been Victor Gyökeres. Obviously, the Liga Portugal doesn't get as much coverage as some of the other top leagues in Europe, but I think Victor has been one of the best strikers so far this season. And in his first 20 games with Sporting, he's already gotten 17 goals. Adding on to these 17 goals, he's also gotten another 5 or 6 assists so far this season, meaning that in every game he plays, he averages more than 1 goal contribution every single game. That is an incredible record. And being someone who just went from England to the Liga Portugal, I do think he has been one of the best strikers in that league, and maybe even in Europe. And that is the end of this video, where I talked about some of the best signings in Europe's top leagues so far this season. If you guys agree with the players I chose, let me know in the comments down below. But if you disagree with some of the players I chose and you think another player deserves this title over some of the players that I picked, again, let me know in the comments down below. I hope you guys are all having a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. And obviously, if you did enjoy this video, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and stay tuned for more videos.